Owen. Thank you for being our teacher, our refuge.
Your request.
Today we are here to find the woman who embodies our theme for this year, Born to Lead. Live from Santa Lucia Mall, this is the interview round of Here they are. We have Mudia 1, Christine Joy Bermuda, already in official seat. We also have Mudia 9, Maria Teresa Lumetigo. Hello, Maria. Mudia 13, Shyla Faye Ilanan, and Mudia 14, Brave Stephanie Ian. Welcome, welcome, ladies. Very quickly, how are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling really good right now. I'm just really grateful that I am here.
So happy to see you back. But for the rest of you three ladies, can you please show your cue cards? How are you feeling? Hard, loud, sad? Just a test. Hard. Okay, and since you're loving this, I'm sure netizens are also loving this. Now, let me just explain to you briefly what will happen. For the round 2 table discussions, we have 3 segments. First off will be the MOGQ round, hence you have your cue cards here. Second will be the Mudia question, and finally, Dataran Tanong. Now, I'm sure some of you are familiar about the like-dislike from last year, but this time we're upping it up a bit. We're adding a little pressure. I hope that's okay. If that's okay, what's your reaction, please? Okay, we are just practicing because again, we have to do this very quickly. You will be given 30 seconds and under, nothing more, to support your answers. Okay? Ready? Okay, I am feeling tense right now. If you can witness my hair, if you can see it in the camera. So, let's warm up to each other, shall we? How are you all feeling, ladies?
Very good.
Good.
Feeling really great now. I'm very excited.
Great. What do you?
Well, excited and at the same time feeling nervous.
How about you, attorney?
I'm very happy because I see my family, I see a lot of supporters.
It seems like you've brought in your entire family. Now, very quickly, if you could switch lives with any of your co-candidates, who would that be and why? You're very eager.
Attorney. Yeah, always I would like to know, at least for a day, how it feels to be a lawyer.
Yeah, me too, girl. Very good answer there. We have 2 lawyers here and 1 in the making. How about you, Shyla?
I'd actually love to switch lines for a day with Robin.
Robin!
Exactly there right now. Because I'm very curious how it feels to have my college degree in Canada.
Oh, the answers are getting interesting. How about you, girl?
Well, I would be brave because for a day
Miss Friendship, they know.
I want to be a Morena girl.
Morena girl. I'll give you my skin. Let's switch. How about you, attorney?
I would want to switch lives with Sheila. She's actually a certified public accountant and I'm an accountancy graduate, so I would like to.
Wow, girl, you are so sweet to each other. That's not part of the question, and I'm so sorry. I'm just warming you up. Now, we'll go live to the MOGQ round. You have 3 emojis with you, and I will read each statement once only. And then, when I say the magic word MOGQ, you'll raise however you're feeling with the statement. Got it? If you got it, raise your hearts, please. There you go. Very quickly, ladies. No need to overthink. We'll make sure to make it fun and interesting because later you will hear from our netizens. Now, Mudias, get your emojis ready, and Damoanias, let's see their honest, spontaneous, and unfiltered reactions. Let us begin with our first batch of questions with eating durian for the first time. MOGQ, go! I can see it. Okay, we had 2 hearts. Why? For you, 9 and Shyla, 13. Why?
Well, of course, first time eating durian. I love sweet taste, so I love the taste of.
I love it too. How about you?
I know that everybody does not agree with the smell of durian, the pungent smell, but actually I don't find it bothersome. That's why the very first time I ate durian, I really fell in love with the fruit.
How about you? You reacted.
It felt
You laughed at it.
Yes,
Why?
actually, because it felt quite funny internally. Because the very first time I tasted it, it felt quite weird because of the aroma itself. But later on, I come to appreciate it.
Oh, they say it tastes like heaven, smells like
Yes.
hell. How about you, attorney?
It's hard,
Hard.
because more than food, it's really an experience, and I will be very, very proud to promote durian to the world because it shows, it reflects the beauty of Davao, because it may be bold, but it's very generous to those who are willing to experience it.
Interesting take from you ladies. Moving on to the next topic. This time, rejected by your crush after being friends for a few years. MOGQ, go! Okay, we have a mix in the house. Let's start with the ones who reacted sad first.
Of course, it felt sad because I'm only human, but I've grown to learn from it and not take anything personally. They just don't like me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you don't like it, then
That's
see
what
what I
I mean.
mean. How about the attorney?
Of course it's sad, because who doesn't get sad when they get rejected, right? But I believe that it's also a wonderful experience because you get to know the honest reaction of your friend who's been your friend for a long time, so it's time to move on.
Yeah, that's it. And ladies, do not assume unless otherwise stated. We have a CPA here who would beg to disagree. You laughed at it? What?
Actually, the main reason is because I'm someone who laughs at embarrassing situations that I find myself in. So I try not to dwell on it. As what attorney has said, I try to move on fast because life will always go on. You don't have to dwell on it. You just have to accept it back and find other crushes as well.
Yeah, there's so many fish in the sea, right? How about you, girl?
Well, of course, I will just shrug it off because there's more to life than men.
Mic drop, please. Okay, now I got your attention, ladies. Let's move on to an interesting topic. This time, same-sex marriage. MOGQ, go. You all loved it? At least we have a strong stand. Let's hear from you first.
Same-sex marriage, it is human rights, and human rights is not a debate at all. So let's just give this freedom to everyone to have the right to choose, to live, of course.
You shy?
For me, more than religion, marriage means protection between two individuals. And so I definitely agree with same-sex marriage because the very people who will be married are Filipinos as well, and they deserve the same protection that we all enjoy right now.
What you Brit?
I do believe that I really would like to agree with same-sex marriage because at the end of the day, in the eyes of God, love is the purest form of them.
I'm the attorney.
Yes, every person has a right to dignity, to respect, and to love whoever they want. And recently, actually, our Supreme Court recognized co-ownership in same-sex relationships. So as a Mutya, I will advocate for arguments that would protect the rights of our LGBTQI community because it's not about privilege, it is about fairness and respect.
Thank you so much, ladies. That is love wins at the end of the day. That's right. Now, finally, before we move on to our next different type of asking, I have one more MOG to test you on, and it's Philippines Flood Control Project. MOGQ, go. Oh, are you copying notes? Let's start with you, attorney.
It's really sad because government projects are meant to protect the lives of our people. It's meant to elevate and enhance our standard of living. So when there are issues of corruption, there must be accountability and transparency. So as a Mutya, I will encourage our citizens to be vigilant and to question where public funds go, because the strongest foundation of our city is its people who refuse to be silent about integrity. Thank you.
Moving on to you, Brit.
I really felt really sad about the flood control projects because first of all, this is where the right discernment comes with choosing the better leaders of our country, and it falls onto one short thing. It's really important we have to know who to choose the best leaders of our country. Thank you.
Shaila.
I'll say it again, public leaders are the stewards of our public funds. That's why we really need to ensure that every fund that comes from the people are properly accounted for, and that we are seeing the effects, or rather, where our funds go rather.
Alright, anything you'd like to add?
And of course, it is sad given the fact that leaders should always portray the leadership and transparency. And as a woman with a strong foundation in social studies, I believe leadership should always create space for fairness, representation, and most importantly, accountability. And as a future Mutya, I hope to inspire everyone to be informed, to be engaged, and to be compassionate participants in nation building. And it is always important that we have this voters education, so everyone is educated to who to vote every election.
Alright, well, what a fine batch we have here. Thank you so much, ladies. Now that we have seen them react to different scenarios, it's time to see how they will react to each other. For this round, this is the Mutya question. You know this, ladies? You have numbers here in the bowl. You'll be picking a number. Those who pick the same number will be paired. We have 1 and 2 numbers inside the bowl. Flash your numbers, please. I'm so sorry. There's still one left. That's for you for sure. Okay. Who picked 1? Okay, you'll be asking questions. Likewise. Let's start with you. Attorney, would you like to do the honor?
Yes. With all the issues surrounding our leaders today, how would you define true leadership?
For me, a true leader or being a Mutya is someone whose leadership and service comes from a place of genuine purity and compassion for the people, and her purpose is not merely to represent her people from a distance, but to stand beside them. Because a true leader do not only speak for her people, she speaks with them. She listens to shrouded stories of every Dabawenyo, and in the same way, she walks with her people, carrying both the burdens and the hopes of every Dabawenyo. Because being a Mutya or being a leader, it is not about authority or recognition, but it is about service or leadership that is grounded in empathy and humility. Because an effective leadership is not measured by how far one walks ahead, but by how far one walks beside the very people that she serves.
Thank you so much. Again, ladies, if I give you the chance to speak and ask your co-candidates, you are only given 30 and under. But you got us all together in 30 seconds. Congrats. How about your attorney? Time for you to ask attorney your question.
How does it feel being a scholar of Davao City for 4 consecutive years?
Yes, actually, it's an honor to be the first graduate of the City Government of Davao's Law School Scholarship Program. I come from a family where dreams had to be earned, so becoming a scholar was never just a privilege for me, it was a responsibility. And that's why I'm here in Mutya Davao to advocate for causes that are relevant in our community, because today, I want to stand as proof that when a city believes in its people, those people will rise to serve it.
Well done. That was the first pair. We're moving on already to the second pair here. Who'd like to go first?
So I know this is one of the many topics that you are interested, but I'm very curious what's your stand on transgender women joining women pageantry?
I really don't have a problem with it at all, because as a women's health advocate myself, the one common goal for women and trans women is to uplift and advocate for women. And if you would like to ask me, I would rather be excluded for those who I include rather than be included for those who I exclude. Salamat.
And finally for you.
Yes, what I wanted to ask Shaila is, how does it feel that we're down to 5 days only until the coronation night?
It was very emotional because it's been a roller coaster ride. It's been a journey, I know. Not just for me, but for all the girls right now. And it's been a very transformative journey going from as someone who is born to be. And that's why I really want to invite everyone right now to watch our coronation and watch these 20 Kanda learners as we grow, as we shine on the stage this March 20.
Wow, thank you so much, ladies. Let's give them a big round of applause. I don't think you need me here. But before I let you all go, we will be proceeding to our final segment for this batch. And that will be the segment where you, our audience, and those who are watching online have the opportunity to ask and get to know our Mukyas with your own question, anything under the sun. And to do that, I have here my partner, Katriana. What's our tanong?
What a wonderful exchange from our first batch of Mutya candidates. And to our netizens, as mentioned, keep your questions coming. Also to our audience here at Santa Lucia Mall, you will also have the chance to ask questions to our candidates later on. And now, here's our tarantanong from our online world. Alright, a question from Joanna Alahar. In an era where cancel culture is prevalent, how do we distinguish between holding someone accountable and online bullying? Wow, I love that question. Let me repeat. In an era where cancel culture is prevalent, how do we distinguish between holding someone accountable and online bullying? Let's once again hear from our first batch of Mutya candidates. Back to you, Jan.
Interesting question, ladies. I will no longer give you the cue. Whoever wants to answer first, go ahead.
Hello everyone, once again. I'm actually not in favor of cancel culture because canceling someone also means that you're not allowing them chance for redemption. And that's why instead of canceling someone, I think we need to hold them accountable instead, because usually this such culture is being used as a weapon against persons, against individuals. So instead of that, we need to hold them accountable and allow them to grow as persons.
Great. Rick?
Accountability is really important that we can do it in private and allow them an explanation for why they did so and allow them second chances. We all must uphold and implore and give them grace and kindness. Thank you.
For me, we know we are living in a world where everyone is confused. We were exposed to a scandal that is bigger than the last. And the least thing that we can do is to be kind. So we have to understand everyone, and I am not into cancel culture. So yeah, we have to be kind with each and every one of us.
And finally, attorney.
Social media is really powerful, but just like any other powerful tool, its impact depends on how we use it. So I will use my platform to promote responsible use of social media and to stand against content that harms. Because we must always encourage everyone to be kind, and we have to support our people, because when we support our people, we build stronger, more empowered Dapawenyos.
And Dapawenyos steps in for our batch one. We can all take a deep sigh of relief. Well done, ladies. Let's welcome our equally fine, smart-looking girls from the batch 2. We have Mutya 11, Ashley, Mutya 12, Nia, Mutya 15, Mariah, and Mutya 19, Hannah. Now, ladies, you will go through the same thing that your sisters did from the batch 1. You'll go through the same thing. But first, let's have a quick chat. That's quite a long break. So, I'm curious, what's the first thing you did this morning when you wake up? Start with you?
The first thing I did this morning was grab my daily cup of coffee, of course.
Oh, coffee, yeah. How about you?
I did pray because every morning I want to make sure that God is with me for the rest of the day.
That's a powerful reminder. If you're watching, pray first. How about you?
I did actually pray too, and
Wow.
condition my mind mentally.
How about you, Ashley?
First thing that I did in the morning is, of course, I opened my eyes. But kidding aside, taking a shower since I'm running late earlier.
Thank you so much, Ashley, because honestly, girls, I feel bad. Because the first thing that I did is open my phone. So sorry, Lauren. now. I got you all relaxed. You all knew how this will go. I will be asking statements, and you will be flashing the black card that best represents how you feel about the topic or the statement. And you only have 30 seconds and under. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I have to cut you off. Now, ready? If you're ready, please raise your heart react, please. Thank you. hashtags if you're loving the conversation here. Now, let's begin. First thing, wearing sneakers over heels. MOGQ, go! Sneakers over heels? Oh, you're all in solidarity. Let's start with you, Ashley. Why?
I love also wearing sneakers aside from wearing heels because I also love to make my feet more comfortable, most especially when I'm off stage.
Nice. How about you?
I agree with Ash. I prefer sneakers over heels, but of course heels makes you very elegant.
That's right.
So as a Pasarela member, I know how hard and how it hurts to wear heels all day. And so if I given a chance to wear sneakers, I would wear sneakers.
Finally, Hannah.
Well, I'm a really busy person, and in my business bio, working in labs, doing it in heels is definitely no easy task. So comfort over the style.
That's true, but you know, girls, the irony of it all is we are wearing heels now as we speak. But noted on all the reasons. Moving on to the next topic. And that is giving a second chance to someone who has cheated on you. MOGQ, go! There's a bit of a loading here, and I'm curious as to why. Why?
Actually, you have a boyfriend who
Okay, so sorry.
for almost 5 years, and I would not give him any chance if he would cheat on me, but I hope not.
Preach, girl. How about you?
Well, I'm not really a fan of giving a second chance, most especially if that man cheated on me, because just like when you broke a glass, you can never go it back to its right place.
Break this down. Ashley, how about you?
No, I laughed.
Why?
Well, because as the unika iha, as the only daughter, I don't have any boyfriend.
Oh, super.
Yes.
Oh, wow, we're the same.
So
Kidding.
I don't want to be hurted by someone, and I already know my value, so I wouldn't want that kind of experience happen to me.
Yes, you go, girl. And finally, Hannah.
I mean, I stick with the belief that once a cheater, always a cheater. and
True.
I don't think you can change the man. So if you can't change the man, change the man.
Yes, preach, girl. Happy International Women's Month, everybody. Can we all give a big round of applause for our ladies here for standing their ground? No second chances, everybody. Now, ladies, we're not going to keep you entertained. This time, I want to know your stand on Davao's no smoking or liquor ban. MOGQ, go. We'll start with you first.
I mean, there's no issue in having a little fun, having little drinks and stuff, but this is definitely for the betterment of the people of Davao City. It's more about being disciplined citizens of Davao. That's why we have the Disciplinado Davaoenyo. So no real anything against it. I really think it's a good cause.
Nice. What about you?
Just like Ate Hannah said, I would really want to know that and the people watching online, we are known for the DC Disciplinado, and it's in us values that we are disciplined people, and so I'm not against with it, but yeah, we can have fun, and there's a specific place for that, and so that is one thing that I like with Davao City. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. How about you, Nia?
My fellow Mika sisters, as a person with an asthma, I really appreciate that, and it's for the people too. So I just love that love.
And Ashley? Thank you so much for joining us, Ashley. It's been a great time with you. First time, girl.
I totally agree with my Mukya sister because I believe that there is no wrong when it comes to making fun, but it is important that we should also know our limits. And as Dabaweños, we are known as disciplinado for a reason. Thank you.
That is right. Thank you so much for re-emphasizing in Davao City we are disciplined citizens. Finally, now, ladies, I'm not sure if we're gonna laugh about it, but the topic is Donald Trump's presidency. MOGQ, go! Are you copying notes? Are you friends? Best of friends for this batch? You reviewed together. Okay, since you want to go home, we'll start with you. We'll start with you, Ashley.
I'm actually feeling sad, most especially with today's pressing issue right now that we are currently
we are currently experiencing. So I believe that as a young ones or as a Gen Z in today's generation, it is a must that we should really know who to vote as a leader so that we can all create a safer space for everyone. Thank you.
Nice one, Ashley.
Yeah.
I agree with Ash. It makes me sad that the people are experiencing this right now, and I hope this will serve as a lesson to every Filipinos, Dabaweños, to really be informed in choosing the right leader.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. And so if given a chance to talk to him, I would say step down on your throne because you're not in the right position to lead, especially with the current happenings and situation. Thank you.
And finally, Hannah.
Yes, I agree with everything that has been said earlier, especially with those countries that have been affected with such attacks. My prayers go out to the citizens who are the real victims of the situation. And I'd also like to add, I'd like to send my prayers and to family and friends who are in Dubai, where I resided for a couple of years. I really hope we're able to push forth the strategy that's with everything that's going on right now.
Alright, this is a nice conversation, ladies. I was just about to comment when she said Donald Trump stepped down because we have one more problem, one more person to ask to step down, but there's another room for that. For now, we will move on to seeing how you will interact with each other. Because you have been copying notes. Now I want to know. I'm just kidding. Don't be mad. You are my best friend for this batch, girl. We're wearing blue. Now, time to get serious. 30 seconds only. You'll be picking numbers. I've been chit-chatting so much, I forgot to ask all of you to please pick your numbers. It's been so hard, Ken. I wish you were here. Alright, show your numbers now, ladies. Who picked which? 1. Likewise, 1 will do the pairing together and ask each other questions. 2, the same way. 1, ladies, Ashley and Hannah would like to go first. First one to ask the question. And number 1, Nia, you picked 2. Okay, I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad. I'm just checking in if you're still awake. Now, ladies, go ahead.
Okay.
Bato pick. We have so much time. Go ahead.
Okay, Ash, what makes you happy?
So what truly makes me happy is knowing that I am loved by many and spending time with them, those who truly value me, such as my friends, my family, as well as my loved ones. It is actually really overwhelming and a wholesome experience for me.
Aww, we love you. Ask her your question.
So my question is, who is your role model?
Okay, my role model is my father, who's sadly passed away, but I know he is cheering, clapping for me up there. You know, he really immersed me into and taught me the values really of compassion. That is what I want to apply as a Mutiana Davao.
Thank you so much, Nia. I met your father is such a great man. I'm sure he's so proud of you. Now, ladies, it's time for the both of you to ask each other a question. Go, Mariah.
I want to ask, who is Hannah?
So I define Hannah as my Appa would call me, which is leader girl. And I believe I am so because I believe I'm a holistic person. I'm able to embrace both the good and bad light that I have, put it on a spotlight and show it to the world. That's the best way to prove yourself to the world, to show that you're accountable and that you're able to hold yourself up there despite the differences and everything that holds you back. Okay, so my question to you, Mariah, is what is one really hard experience that you faced and how has it inspired you for this Mutiana Davao?
You know, as a product of a broken family, it's really hard, especially that I'm an only daughter. I was forced to be strong, to be independent. That is the reason why I'm here today. As someone who is strong, I believe that it keeps me grounded always, to always be known to my values. And with that, I was able to push through with the difficulties and challenges within my life. And now I am here as your inspired Mutiana Davao. Hopefully, next Mutiana Davao.
Wow. Thank you so much, ladies, for that wonderful exchange of stories. Now I am curious to know how our netizens will react to each of your stories. Katriana, what's our parang tanong?
Hello everyone, once again, a very wonderful exchange. This really is the segment where we get to see the heart and the wit and the personality of our Buriana Davao candidates. And right now, I have a question from our audience. Tio Moreno, what can you say about the Buriana candidates right now?
Oh, actually, this is my favorite part of the pageant because it's where we get to know the personalities of the girls. You know exactly that there are a lot of people who are picking personalities, but this time it's really showing up. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for that. So please state your question twice for the candidates.
I'm gonna give out the context first before you guys answer the main question. So recently, Ann Curtis became a trending topic after a statement from Congressman Bong Suntay sparked mixed reactions from the public. At the same time, some people also criticized Ann Curtis, arguing that her stance on women empowerment appeared selective because she's speaking out only when those involved are people who share the same political beliefs with her. So the main question now, ladies, is should women empowerment be selective or it should apply to everyone regardless of the political belief?
Ooh, thank you so much, Gio. We are so happy to have you here. Ladies, who would want to go first? Ashley, wow, that's my girl. Go.
Well, I do believe that women empowerment shouldn't be selective. It should aim to empower not just women who share the same beliefs, political beliefs, but it also should aim to empower everyone with this, whether regardless of their political stance, and that's all. Thank you.
Nia?
I agree with Ash. Women empowerment shouldn't be selective. In fact, we all here we all here are aiming for one goal, and despite us having different political stances, we aim for one city, for us to be coordinated, and a one city that aims for to lead everyone.
Mariah?
As we believe as one, I believe that it's important for us to know that in the 21st century, we should know that women empowerment shouldn't be selective. It should be for all. And I believe that with women empowerment, its number one goal is to empower every woman, regardless of the social issues, regardless of the political stance. And as for me, I vow to empower every single mother in Davao City. That's why that is my advocacy. And I believe that it should never be something that could be able to get from women. Thank you so much.
Finally, you, Hannah.
I believe women empowerment should definitely be something that transcends political stances. It should be applicable to all. And women empowerment in itself should be a whole other really important issue, one in level with politics in itself. And women empowerment in this scenario really begins when a woman is able to decide for herself and she's not asking for permission, or she should not be merely subjected to simply being a sex symbol. So that's the situation at hand, and I really believe we hope to see better, especially in the 21st century, for women. Thank you.
And that's a wrap for our batch 2. Well done, ladies, for such insightful answers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have here our batch 3. Mutia 2, Kian Marie Rosales. Mutia 7, Angela Marie Comador. Mutia 17, Jamelka Toong. And Mutia 18, Ian Alessandra Martinez. Now, ladies, you two will go through the same thing. Now, how is your day going so far? React, please.
I actually have a sprained ankle right now, but I'm feeling great and I'm actually very excited for this conversation because it's very interesting and I'm glad that I'm here.
Power of a devil with it right here. How about you, Ian?
I'm actually feeling cold because of the aircon, but again, this is raising the pressure and I'm ready for this round.
Sweet. Ian?
Actually, it feels so sleepy right now.
Sleepy?
It's afternoon, so basically we need to push through this.
The questions will not make you sleepy, girl.
Yeah, same
with me as well. I'm feeling really sleepy because I only had 3 hours of sleep, but I'm willing to power through this.
Now, just a quick chit chat. If today's gonna be the end of the world, what's the food that's gonna be in your bag? That's very sleepy coffee.
It's okay. First thing is chocolate because I have a sweet tooth.
Chocolate! Angela.
For me, it's frozen yogurt from my cousin's shop.
Frozen
It
yogurt.
would be ice cream. I would love to have a very, very cold
Ice
ice
cream.
cream. It's going to be the end of the world.
Even the leche flan from Mindanao specific shop there, I really love the leche flan because I said it's very cheap. It is also enjoyable.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it. What is it?
Leche flan.
Leche flan. It's gonna be the end of the world. Interesting choice of food. Now, ladies, it's time to get serious. Welcome to the MOGQ round. I will be reading statements, and all you have to do is raise the placard that best represents how you're feeling towards the topic. 30 seconds to support your answer. Here you go. First off, parents sharing your baby stories. MOGQ, go! Wow. Since you laughed about it, why?
I mean, my mom is really proud, especially online, and I know she's watching the Facebook Live right now, and she's very, very proud of me. Last week, I just saw her post of a baby picture of me, and I'm not really smiling in there, so I just laugh. I feel just...
I thought you had another Catherine on a great moment. You know, when her mother talked about her being child. Anyway, Kian.
So my reaction would be hard. It is because I am an only child and my mother tends to always post me, especially in my journey here in Mindanao, as well as a little throwback to my childhood days. She always uploaded all of my awkward faces. So, yeah.
I understand you, girl. I'm also an only child. Jan?
Kian is the only child. I am the bunso. That's why my mom adores me so much. I love my mom so even though it's embarrassing,
Yeah.
I love her post and I love her sharing my childhood experiences.
Yes. The question goes to you love your mom, that's why you heart reacted to it, but not your parents sharing baby stories. Okay.
Well, I love my mom because we really look alike and we just look like sisters. Shout out to my mom, I hope she's here. And yeah, I really love it when she shares milestone because I am the eldest daughter in our family. So it's something that helps me to keep me going because I encourage my sisters and my family also.
That's sweet. Mom, if you're watching, don't show me baby photos. I don't like it. Moving on to frequently forgetting people's names. MOGQ, go. Frequently forgetting people's names. Okay. You're like the thorn amongst the roses. I'll reserve yours. Let's start with you, Ian.
Well, a lot of people mispronounce my name as Ayan or Ian, and they even intend to question my name if it's a man name. But this is actually special to me because it has cultivated the name of my grandfather and my father's name, which is Emmanuel and Brian. So it will be very sad if they will mispronounce my name or even they forgot my name because I always make sure that people will never forget me. So please never forget me.
Hit and subscribe. How about you,
I
Jan?
have to admit that I'm very, very bad at memorizing people's names, but I'm very good at remembering people's faces. That's why I'm very sorry to all the people that I frequently forgot your names, guys. But it's something that does not show personal. It's a me problem. I'm trying to improve my memorization of names.
It's okay, Jan. No offense taken. You?
To be honest, my reaction is sad because that's what Jamaica said. She always forgets name and somehow she is good in familiarizing. And I want you to all know that I have a different name because I am Kian, which is girl. We are never
Sisters are another mother. Finally, why are you
My
laughing?
reaction is to laugh because I have the same answer as Jamala. I really have a bad memory of remembering people's names, but I always remember their faces, and I think it's a really positive thing. I just find myself asking co-candidates, "What was your name again?"
Actually, ladies, here. Good thing, right? That in today's world, we can call each other Beb, Mima, Mommy, Momshi.
Totally agree.
No offense taken. We got ourselves a good save, right? Now for a serious question. 2028 elections. MOGQ, go! 2028 elections! Oh, glad that you all reacted hard to it, so we'll start with you, Jam.
Okay, so 2020 election for me is a point of redemption for each and every Filipinos, that we can get to choose another set of leaders that will actually give us the justifiable actions that our communities truly deserves. And I think it's a very good thing for us at this point for the Philippines to choose good leaders that will be good trailblazers of our country.
Thank you. You, girl.
I chose Heart because I'm really looking forward to the 2020 elections, especially now we as Filipinos, we're more educated in this generation, and I believe we in the future can choose great leaders.
That's right. Kian.
Definitely, my reaction would be hardest because, especially that our Vice President Inday Sara has told that she will be running as the next president, and I hope she will because I am a pro with her that.
Yes, and she will. Lipat ng Agila. Finally, we're on it, but Kian.
It is hard because Filipinos, it is time for us to set our standards high. It is time for us to choose leaders that will give us tangible actions and those proposals that will benefit, especially in marginalized areas, because Filipinos deserve a home where they feel dignified and feel important. Thank you.
Wow, I have so much things to say, but I'm not part of the candidates, but we're here for your one and only VP Sara. Can we all give a round of applause to that, please? Woo! Exciting 2020 elections, but ladies, we'll move on to Middle East tension, or war in the Middle East. MOGQ, go! From all hearts to all sad face, let's start with you.
I stand for peace and empathy to everyone who's affected with the conflict in the Middle East, but I believe that the lasting solution for this is an understanding and dialogue through addressing the root causes of these problems. Because people deserve to feel safe, respected, and hopeful for the future. Thank you.
All right. Because you all have the same answer, I'm sure you all have the same thing to say. Now it's time to move on to the next segment, and that is knowing how you will react to each other. You have to pick numbers here. You know how this goes? Okay. I'm sorry. What did you pick? 1, 2? I'm assuming any one of you here will pick the number 1. And I think that's you, Jam. So Jam and Angela will ask each other questions.
Should I go first? Yeah, I can. So here's a question. Share me one very special experience that made you the woman you are today. A very special experience for me, of course, when I was still living in Japan. My mom and I took the initiative to create a Philippine cultural event which is called Philippine Bongka. It's called Philippine Culture. It really represents the way we share ourselves with other people, especially abroad. And it made me realize that sharing our story, sharing our culture, especially outside of the Philippines, is really something that we should be proud of. And I'm really proud to be the founder and the co-producer of that Filipino festival, Philippine Bongka.
All right, now, time for you to ask for your question.
I just want to go on a lighter note. I want to know, what is your inspiration for your outfit today? So this outfit is a tribute to my home organization, which is the University of Mindanao Psychology Society. This color is our color, and it is a representation of the Project Crisis Response Team, which is an initiative by my organization that is closely related to my advocacy, which is mental health accessibility programs, and that's why I'm proudly wearing it right now.
Lovely color. Ian and Ian.
Yes, I would like to ask the question first. So I know the Weekend at Davao is a roller coaster ride, but what is your motivation to continue?
I want to answer it differently. As someone who grows up also from being poor, I was born poor, and as an only child, it was very hard for me to surpass every circumstances. That's why I'm joining Mutya in Davao. Not just as well, the money itself, it's a big deal, but somehow as well as to teach open our young generations that it's okay to big dream. Your motivations in life is your hardships.
The circumstances will never define you, Kian. Time for you to ask your question to Ian.
So, yeah, this is something different again. So, what's the best thing about being a woman?
I love that question. Well, the best thing of being a woman is being able to nurture and inspire, especially the young people, because they deserve a leader who will trailblaze a change and to lead with empathy and sympathy. Because queens should be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and timely to her causes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies. Now, before I let you all go, it's time for your final, last question. And Catriana was our talantanong. Yes, thank you so much, Jan. We have so many questions right now live on our Facebook page of Mutyanan Davao. And right now, we have a talantanong from Dan Lester Dabon. I will read the question twice. In a world shaped by war, geopolitical tension, and misinformation, how would you use your role as Mutyanan Davao to go beyond advocacy and actively promote peace, critical thinking, and national unity, especially among the youth who are most vulnerable to division during global crisis? Once again, in a world shaped by war, geopolitical tension, and misinformation, how would you use your role as Mutyanan Davao to go beyond advocacy and actively promote peace, critical thinking, and national unity, especially among the youth who are most vulnerable to division during global crisis? Let's hear the answers of our Mutyanan Davao candidates for this batch. Back to you, Jan. Quite long, but whoever wants to go first, I'm giving you the floor.
Here, to be a mutya is not just somehow to wave your hands in front of the many people, but as someone who is a torch to bring the hope for the youth, especially now that we are really facing this crisis, that our youth are the ones who are really affected by it. It is now the time for us as mutya to empower or cultivate the minds of every young generation that education is powerful too.
Angela?
Well, for me, we live in a very digital generation, and I believe that promoting peace, as Mutya, I should promote peace in the youth because we are lucky enough to be connected. And for me, peace doesn't just start between government halls. Peace also starts within us. And if we want change, change must start within ourselves.
Jan?
Thank you, Mutya Sisters, for answering. I appreciate those. As a young leader myself, beyond my advocacy, it is actually starting the action. Just like what Althea said, that to start my action within myself. Because as a young leader, I strongly believe that conversations like this allow ourselves to be more involved, not just politically, but in the issues that we are currently experiencing right now. And as a young Mutyanan Davao, as a leader, I should be actively involved. I should be more involved in the setting that we should be providing for our community and for making a stronger community for each one of us.
Finally, Ian?
Social media has shaped our standards in terms of our conversation, just like you said, but it's very important that we relate to our facts, our values. We always think about our youth because they're the reason why we are here, and we should inspire them about how to use the proper usage of technology. Because again, technology is powerful, so as our words. Thank you.
Hello, ladies. You are so tall, all of you. What's your height, Joanna?
Well, I think 5'7".
5'7", Robin?
5'8".
5'8". Altalea? 5'6". And Lori, Ariana?
5'6.5", but can you round it off to 5'7"?
I've never felt so small. Just kidding. Now, ladies, I'm curious to know what's your favorite music and how often do you play it in a day? Favorite song or music and how often do you play it in a day? Let's start with you, Robin. You were thinking?
I'd say it changes from time to time. It really depends on my mood.
But for now?
Right now, I really like Noel Common. Though he's
What's
very
that?
indie.
Oh, indie.
Yeah.
All right. Joanna?
I think, yeah,
yeah, it's a mix of different genres also. But for now, Siza, Nobody Gets Me. Nobody Gets Me. Wow, so in love. How about you, Abdalaya?
I speak that my chorus track. It's a Christian song.
Oh, yeah, I'd listen to that. How about you, Lori?
Well, same with Robin. It does change from time to time, but right now I'm feeling more of a soft girl vibe type of music.
As you should. And what's your go-to soft girl vibe?
Leaning.
Lean in? Alright. It's okay, we have all the time in the world. Now. Let's get down to business. You'll go through the same thing. Let's get your emoji placards ready. That's right in front of you. You have your microphones. Ladies, keep your answers short and concise. We're testing your personalities, your charm, your wit. Let's begin with eating balut. Emoji, you go! Balut. Balut. Sad face. Let's start with you, Algalea.
The moment I tasted balut, I was really surprised by the taste. It's yummy, but it's really uplift our mood with my first time, and it's just a really wonderful experience.
You laughed, but you said heart react. Why is that, Lori?
I think it's because people don't really expect it, but balut actually is my favorite food.
Girl, me too. Robin?
I really like balut, and recently the candidates and I had balut after we went to the Pakibata district. And I saw Lori, immediately she sat on the table and was like, at the Duhaka 16 days, like she's an expert on it.
Specific a girl, huh? Joanna?
Yes, I love balloon, but there's an exemption. Only 16 days. I don't want to see like the whole body of the chick.
It's fine, no judgment here.
Yes, 16 days is a must, so everyone should try it.
Wow, if my mom's watching, she's a balut maker. She's definitely gonna love all of you to go to farm one day. But first, we have to get to answer the second question, and that's opening a message but forgetting to reply. Emoji, you go. Opening a message? You all laughed about it. Let's start with you, Joanna.
Very guilty, especially that the messenger has a feature wherein we can long press it, so very guilty. Although I read the message already, but I just chose not to open it.
How about you, Robin?
I am guilty of doing that a lot of the times, and honestly, it's not because I don't want to talk to people, it's just I honestly just forget, and I'm so sorry. Love you, Mom.
Ooh, I'm sure she will forgive you. Altalea?
I'm guilty as well. I often forget to reply in conversation, and most of the people misunderstood that gesture, so I think that's a funny thing.
How about you, Laura?
Innocent till proven guilty, but
All guilty.
but I do take accountability. Sometimes I just really forget, and I'm sorry for that.
Alright, Kababanas, if you two are feeling guilty, please clap your hands. Because I'm sure we're not the only ones here. Now, ladies, let's be serious. Up next, AI or Chat GPT in research or education. Emoji, you go. Now, I got you all thinking. Let's start with the last one to get her emoji out in the open. Why?
Well, I believe that AI can be really a powerful tool for us, but I believe it is in how we choose to use it. I believe that a lot of people choose to use AI only for their convenience, but we must be reminded to always use AI in a rightful manner, in a wiser manner. Thank you.
Robin, you're sad?
I agree with Joanna because AI should be a tool to help us, not replace us. And with research and education, I believe that negates research and education if you use AI instead of your own brain to do that.
Altalea?
AI can really help us to do our tasks easier in our daily lives, especially in education. And I believe we should really educate the young ones, especially the students right now, to responsible use of AI and should not merely depend on it. Because it's really important to have our own knowledge and our own wisdom through our education. Thank you.
Lori, anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, I do agree that AI is a tool and it should be used as a tool because we are all smart people. It shouldn't be something that we could depend on, but more of let it be a support for us.
Kids, I hope you're taking down notes. It's very important to listen to your apples here. Now, for your final, last question for this round. Inflation and the rising cost of living. Emoji, you go. Yes, we're all sad. I want to know why, Alpalea.
Rising inflation rates right now really affect all the Filipinos because Filipinos tend to prioritize their basic needs such as food, water, and transportation. And it's really important for us to be collectively responsible when it comes to voting our leaders and to be able to listen more and talk less. Thank you.
Laura?
Well, I do agree with Adelea, but we have to consider also that most of these are because of what's also happening internationally or globally. And it should be, it's a really sad thing, honestly, for a lot of Filipinos who work so hard and get so much.
Robin?
I did the study action because I've never experienced poverty, but as a Mutya, I want to speak for all the voices of the Filipinos, the Davaoenos behind me, and I would say majority of people aren't in the aren't as privileged as we are. And the rising cost of living and inflation is definitely detrimental to their lives, and I empathize with that, and I want to help solve that.
Nice of you to go your self-check with your privilege. Joanna, the issue that we are experiencing right now should be a concern to everyone because it is the ordinary people that carry the heaviest burden. When there is the rise of cost of living, it is the ordinary people who suffers. And so with that, I call on to challenge the government to strengthen local productions, to support farmers with their local productions, and to call on for stronger community support. And at the same time, for us consumers, for us to have a wiser consumption and a stronger community support. Thank you. Here, we're all sad. Now we move on to the next segment, and that's the Mutya question. Time for you to pick your numbers. And to all our Davaoenos here at Santa Lucia Mall, if you too are sad with the rising cost of gas, don't react. Thank you for being in solidarity with us. Just checking in if you're still there. Who picked one? Who picked two? Okay, Lori and Robin, you go first.
So what does winning Mutya ng Davao mean to you?
It would mean everything because it would mean the culmination and the success of all the hard work that I've done, that everybody's done to support me. And also, it would be the start for me to finally process my advocacy for not just for the women of Davao, but hopefully for the women of the Philippines. Thank you.
Time for you to ask her.
So, kind of the same question, but what motivates you to be in Mutya ng Davao other than winning?
Well, what motivates me, first of all, I joined Mutya ng Davao because I have an advocacy and that is youth development. And at the same time, it is also my self-development being here. But throughout this journey, Mutya ng Davao rekindled the love that I have for pageantry and people. And because of a lot of people who support me, our team, my family, and my friends, they are my greatest motivation. Thank you.
Now we move on to our second pair. Joanna, as a Davaoena, what color best represents you?
It would definitely be red. It's what I'm wearing right now because red represents love, compassion, and being fearless. And it truly reflects my values as a Davaoena who's willing to serve my fellow Davaoenos with compassion, love, and heart. And it truly reflects what I desire to give to the community. And I am very hopeful to inspire every Davaoena to do the same thing or do more than what I did. Thank you.
Now, ask your question.
Describe your Mutya ng Davao journey in one word.
In one word, it would be transformative. To be honest, last preliminaries, I wasn't at my best. I almost slipped during evening gown competition. But this is to remind everyone that if you fall 7 times, always stand up 8. Transformative because I was once a person who can't, and now I'm a person who can. Thank you.
So sweet, ladies. Now for your last question, Catriana, what's our tanong?
Thank you so much, Jan. And we have a tanong from the audience. And speaking of audience, it's easy to admire beauty on stage, but really it's this round where we see the thoughts, values, and perspective of the candidates. So I have someone from the audience here. Please introduce yourself and repeat your question twice if you can.
Thank you so much. So, di ako paniwala standing beside Miss Catriana Batu, your Mundia 5. I can still remember that place. My name is La Cruiser, and I will throw a question to our candidates. Yes, and with this year's Mundia Nagdabo theme, Born to Lead, I want to know, how would you lead people who may not share the same views as you? That's my question. With this year's Mundia Nagdabo theme, Born to Lead, how would you lead people who may not share the same view as you? Thank you.
All right, let's hear once again from our Mundia Nagdabo candidates for this batch. Back to you, Jan.
Wow, beautiful question. Thank you so much, Sir La. Ladies, who would want to go first? Are you all starstruck? Lori.
At first, I think we have to be empathetic. We need to know what are the strengths and the weaknesses of our youth in order to properly lead them to the right path. And at the same time, I think that leadership skills are not biologically determined, nor are we actually born to lead. Leadership skills are what we have gained during the challenges in life, and it is our passion towards letting people be inspired to also lead for themselves.
Robin.
Well, I agree with Gloriana that we have to be empathic towards other people, and what I would do to lead people who may not have the same views as me is to get to the core of it all, to empathize with them. At the end of the day, we're all Filipinos. We all want to have better lives for ourselves. So I would use our shared values as Filipinos and lead with that. Thank you.
Altalea.
Well, I believe that beauty queens should not engage in any partisan criticism, but as a mutya, I will not really dwell on matters like this, like such as the political sense. It is important as a mutya to empower every Dabawenyo to stand for unity and harmony, because it's really important for us to have a respected dialogue, for us to engage and share conversations about this matter. And I believe through that, we can achieve a community that is living in harmony. Thank you.
And finally, Joanna.
As a Gandabawenya, I would like to redefine the meaning of a true leader. Because a lot of people think that when we empower women, we only empower one woman alone. But that is not true. When we empower women, we empower everyone around us. And we are not being selective. And at the end of the day, true leader does not know nothing. True leader always includes everyone, and that is when we thrive. Because I always believe that if we have an empowered people, we can have an empowered Davao City. Thank you.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for our batch 4 in Dabawenyas. Thank you so much. Hello, ladies. How does it feel to be called last for this batch? Are you tired, hungry, nervous? What's the feeling?
As you know what they say, save the best for last.
Oh, nice catch. Serene?
Since this is not my first time, but still, I
Face
feel
the
very
room.
nervous.
How about you, Nicole?
Actually, while we were waiting, we were talking to ourselves and saying, oh, I'm so sleepy now. But now that we're sitting here in front, I think that we're all ready to answer the questions
questions and prove that every Gandaroeña has kaatan.
Nice. Finally, you.
Very nervous, but I am very trying my best to be composed.
Alright, since you are the last batch, I'll give you a great warm-up question. If you are allowed to do anything crazy for an hour with no judgment, what will you do and why? Let's start with you.
I would really like to fly to see different areas.
Fly here?
Yeah.
Fly with an eagle?
Yes.
You're very green. How about you?
I guess I would want to run somewhere to a beach and then sing all night if I could.
Oh.
I think I want to dance because dancing is one of my
Dancers. Sam. Just kidding. How about you, Nicole?
Actually, I love to sing. Singing doesn't love me, but I want to sing. My voice is not suited for it.
Oh, I was thinking one of you will go to the tabulation score and alter the scores. Do something crazy. Just kidding. Now, let's get down to business. I was looking at my director. He's not happy about it. Now, ladies, 30 seconds and under. Flash your emoji cue card on my signal. Your topic is accidentally liking your crush's post. Emoji cue go! Puro scratch! Ha ha ha! Okay, Nicole.
It actually happened to me once, and honestly, it was embarrassing. But at the same time, I think that he gets the hint that I like it, so it
Did you unlike it after?
Yeah. Leave no traces.
How do you, Serlin?
Actually, I never experienced that one, but getting from
Wow,
Nicole's
careful.
experience as well, it's kind of funny, knowing that you like the person and then it means that you're stalking the person as well. So, if you like someone and then you liked it, you like his post, definitely it's embarrassing though.
Okay. You girl?
Although it didn't really happen to me, but the fact that you like a throwback picture is really funny for me.
And finally, you.
Well, just like the other girls, I'm sure we've had our instances where we're just curious, looking at, their faces, and then all of a sudden you hit the like button, but you know what? I just say, let them have it, let them have the joy and the flirt and the love.
That's right, ladies. Continue being careful. You don't want to be like someone I know. Now, for our next question. Stress eating. Emoji cue go. Stress eating. You hesitated for a bit there. Why are you sad?
Because first thing, I don't know which emoji to pick. It's either sad or the laughing emoji, but for me it's sad because I'm kind of person who's really into stress eating the moment that I'm so stressed. And I experienced this last night. So we went to Samgyup Salad, and then and I'm guilty after that.
Doesn't show. Nicole?
I am actually guilty of binge eating. It's actually my coping mechanism, and I know it's kind of unhealthy, but honey butter brings so much joy to me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Me too, girl. How about you?
Yeah, I chose the heart because food gives me happiness, and especially if it's chocolates, I'm very fond of lava cake, which is something that I'm craving right now.
Very sexy.
Well, me myself, I really love eating, and as a pharmacy student, it is really stressful, and the way to take out all of the stress of my body is through eating.
Alright, thank you so much for sharing funny and real stories there. Now for a serious question. Minimum wage of Dapoeños at 510 pesos for non-agriculture workers and 505 pesos for agricultural workers. MOGQ, go! Ooh, minimum wage of Dapoeños. Sad. Who would want to go first? Okay, go.
I really hope that our salary will rise up because our workers here in Filipinos are very determined with their work, and some of us they actually go to other countries just because of the salary. So I hope that our salary here in the Philippines will rise because they deserve it.
Anything would like to add to that?
I think that, it's sad because, especially the farmers, they are considered as the backbone of our society. So we should always remember that they are the ones who supply us with food for our food security. And I believe that when a community includes every sector or every people who comes from different sectors, who comes from different phases of life, a city truly grows. Because when we progress, especially when talking about salaries, we shouldn't look at the work that they do, but the commitment and the hard work that they give out to do their jobs.
Yeah, both you, Shirley.
I totally agree with your sisters. It's just that we all know that we Filipinos are very known that we are really hardworking employees, even internationally. And as someone who went abroad, it's really difficult to, be separated with your family just to go there for a better salary. So it's something that our government needs to look for, most especially on the implementations and laws that they need to conduct, that to increase the salaries of our workers, not just to our farmers or teachers, but so as with our healthcare workers. Because as an intern in SPMC, Southern Philippines Medical Center, I know that many of them are still in a low salary, and then some of them are really deciding to went abroad, just to go abroad rather, just to have a good life.
Yes, I hear you, Malaya.
Yes, I agree with all of their points. Just to add further, I think that agriculture in the Philippines is something that makes our country very productive and beautiful. And I think that my heart goes out for those people with minimum wage. I think that farmers and agriculture are a great way to cultivate our society and community, because without our farmers, we wouldn't have progress in the Philippines, especially in Davao City.
Thank you, ladies. Here for salary increase. Now for your last question for this round. U.S. military bases in the Philippines, or EDCA, Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, SIAS. MOGQ, go! Are you liking it, sad about it, hard? For your sake, baby girl. U.S. military bases in the Philippines, or EDCA. MOGQ, go! Are you sad? Are you laughing? Are you into it? Having U.S. military bases in your country? Ooh. Let's hear you first.
Actually, I know that some of my Vietnamese sisters would definitely agree with that, knowing that it's somehow a post for security for every Filipinos. But for me, I'm saddened with the aftermath effect or the butterfly effect after that one, knowing that if we also impose such things, there would going to be consequences, and the things that people would also sadden afterwards.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, girl, Janelle.
So I believe that these are all preparations for whatever will happen in the futures, and they must do what is right with this U.S. bases. Thank you.
Malaya, you were saying?
So I support this initiative because I believe that international relationships are very important also to grow our community in the Philippines. And I also support the fact that, of course, Davao City is known to be a safe place, and without our security, we wouldn't have the peace and peace and order here in our environment, Davao City.
Finally, Nicole.
Yes, I agree with what my Mutia sisters have said. Global cooperation is really important. However, while we embrace global cooperation, we should always remember that we have the sovereign rights, that national law will always be above international law. So we should protect our rights while still embracing progress and safety in our community. Thank you.
Conversations are now getting more interesting. Time for you to pick your numbers, and let's see who will be paired with who. After, I'll save the best one for you. Let's see if number 3 will come out. You pick? Judge one. Okay, let's start with you, Malaya.
Okay, so my question for you, Sir Lynn, is what is one thing that you have learned so far in our Mutia journey?
For me, it's the value of being more kind to the people that surrounds us, and so as to myself, because being part of Mutia and Davao is really not easy in terms of the things that goes beyond Mutia and Davao. For example, our personal lives, our academic status, and so as with the competition itself. So the more you're being kind to yourself and to other people that surrounds you, that's also the time that you realize that there is still goodness in humanity. Thank you.
Your question?
My question for you
What is your greatest strength and how it inspires you to be a mutya?
I believe that my greatest strength is my mindset. I like to think I'm an optimistic person. And I want to mention a quote from the movie Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And I think that this journey is a great example that tests our strength and perseverance, because I'm here for the sisterhood. I'm here to better myself and improve myself as a person. And that's why I can say that as an optimistic person, I think the best way to go through life is to see things on the bright side always.
Thanks, Mary there. And finally, for the last pair here, who'd like to ask first? Nicole, what about topic?
My question goes, if you were in color, what color would you be?
I think I'd go for the color that I'm wearing right now, pink. I think that represents female power, that we women, we hold so much strength, we're strong, we're powerful. And I would like to relate it to Nanay Siling or Soledad Duterte. She is known to mold great leaders of our nation. However, beyond that, she's an educator, she is an entrepreneur, and she's the pillar for the opposition during her time. And that just goes to show that beyond or behind every strong leader is an even stronger woman. And that is what I want to represent.
Great reference, Nicole. Time for us to hear your question.
I want to keep it light and to know my mutya sister. So, what is your hidden talent and why should it not remain hidden?
I say that my hidden talent is singing. I really love to sing, to express my emotion and my mood. But I believe it should always be remain hidden because you don't want to hear my voice.
I thought you're gonna do Now I'm Shy. No. Now, before I let you all go, time for your final question. And for that, I have my sweet girl here, Catriana. What's our tanong?
Thank you so much, John Garrett. Ang daming heartful, insightful, and funny questions and answers from our candidates this batch. And we have one last question from someone from the audience. Please introduce yourself and state your question twice.
Thank you so much, Yana. I am Nico Proge. I am an OFW and a proud Davao supporter. Of course, DDS supporter yun ko. So, my question is, as we celebrate Araw ng Davao, what do you believe is the biggest responsibility of a Davaoeña in protecting the identity and values of Davao in a rapidly changing world? Again, as we celebrate Araw ng Davao, what do you believe is the biggest responsibility of a Davaoeña in protecting the identity and values of Davao in a rapidly changing world?
Alright, thank you so much for that question. Let's hear back from our candidates. Back to you, Jan.
Ooh, save the best question for last. Who would like to go first? Malaya?
So I believe that one value that is very important would be authenticity in this situation. Authenticity. I believe that leadership is a very important thing in our society, and it starts with being original and authentic, and of course someone with integrity. Our celebrating the 89th Araw ng Davao, we really can see the strong discipline of Davao City. And I do believe that in order to continue this progress, we should promote leaders and embody, as Davaoeñas, of course, in this platform, promote leaders who are strong to their values. After all, I do believe that true leadership is like a bridge. It's something that connects purpose with action and people with hope. Thank you.
Nicole? I think as a Davaoeña, we are not just the faces of our city, but also the representation of the people of Davao. And so, in order for us to progress, we should always keep in mind the discipline. We are not tagged as Davaoeña Disciplinado for nothing. As I have read online, that here in Davao, Davaoeña Disciplinado is not an empty slogan, but the moral or the guiding value that has shaped the characters of Davaoeñas. And with that, I would like to also share and to educate to the young generations to choose the leaders who are like what Malaya said, who are authentic and who are true to their core. Because after all, leaders are shaped through example and not by mere opinions of people who are commenting about how they should act. But at the end of the day, leaders should be true to their core and should have a heart for service.
Well, I think as we were experiencing modernization at the same time, Amutian and Davao should be able to be authentic, to be real, at the same time responsible enough to become someone who can truly influence the community. Because me myself, I consider myself as a leader at the age of 13 at a younger age. And for me, it's something that the community needs to, reflect on at the same time, that each one of us could be our own leaders. And being a leader, we need to be authentic and sticking to our core, to our values, to become a morally endowed individuals. We're in uplifting everybody is our main goal, so as in creating a positive change. And I want every generation to realize that we're not just making it for ourselves, but we're also making it for the betterment of Davao City and for the future generations to come. Thank you.
Finally,
Respect, being a Candabawenya doesn't only mean that you are disciplinado, but you also have to be respectful despite our differences and our backgrounds and our diversity and where we came from. We should work hand in hand together because I believe that small actions when done collectively can create a big impact in the future. Thank you.
Davao Buenas,